J-Knight, Batrep!
So welcome back to part 4 of this Warhammer 40k battle report. It's Necron's turn 4. So it begins by moving up his Necrons to get once again a good shot at that Tervagon who's currently eating the relic. He does have feel no pain, but they have nothing better to shoot at. He really wants to take out that relic, because right now I'm eating it. Then decides to shift that one last remaining immortal. And the monolith. He shifts over just to get a Jinx save as well, because they can get Jinx saves, which is kind of cool. And right now he's just trying to figure out where to move his flyer. And he decides to pivot at about a 45-degree angle. And he's going to fly over and then drop the squad of warriors right there, right beside the Tervagon. We just kept the model there. He was actually a little bit more forward, but we couldn't. The base just kept shaking. So now the monolith prepares to shoot, but first he has to do the leadership checks because it's the Doom doing the brain-sucking power again. So the first squad of Lich Guard do their leadership test. Once again, it's a 10. And he failed by 2. So 2 instantly fall down, and the Doom goes up to 8 wounds. And now the second squad. And he rolls a 7. So they're going to be okay. I was really hoping to take out that one last warrior just to get a little extra damage on him. Because right now I have no idea who's going to win this close combat. It'll probably keep going on forever between the Hive Tyrant and his HQ. And he rolls to see if they get back up again. Because I have no more shooting. And they both get up. The reason why they got up on a 4+ was they have a resurrection orb. So then the monolith drops its giant pie plate of doom right on top of the Doom of Malantai. If it scatters in any direction, it might be really interesting. And it does scatter. It scatters away from the Doom, and it lands pretty much on the drop pod. So now hit the drop pod. Scattering, and hits drop pod. Now he needs 2s to instantly kill the drop pod. And he rolls a 4. So the drop pod is instantly killed. It did its job. It got the Doom in place and killed some immortals. So now the death marks fire at the Tervagon. They all need 3s to hit. And it's because they marked him 2s to wound with 6s rending. And he rolls 4 wounds and 2 rends. So here are the rends, which just get feel no pain. And I fail 1. And I get 4 normal armor saves. And I fail 1 of them, but I get feel no pain from that. And I roll my feel no pain. And I pass a 2. So he has 1 wound off, 5 wounds left. Luckily, no pain was felt. And then he decides to keep shooting at the Hormagaunts with that monolith. He really does not like those Hormagaunts. And he gets 3 hits with the first gun. And 2s will kill. And I lose 3 more. He just picks on those Hormagaunts. And then he's shooting the other gun at the Hormagaunts. This time only 1 hit. And a 1. Luckily, those 4 remaining Hormagaunts are still alive. The the warriors then decide to shoot at my squad of Termagants that are behind the Tervagon. They're in rapid fire range, so they're going to do a lot of damage to them. So they need 3s to hit, and they get a lot of hits. I think he only missed on 4 dice total. So that's 16 of the 20 hits. And you know what this means for Termagants. So there's a squad of 10 Termagants, and he needs 3s to kill. And he rolls a perfect number amount, 10, and all 10 of my Termagants are dead. And there they go. They're gone. So now the one remaining immortal is going to shoot at my Hormagaunts because he just wants to kill those Hormagaunts. He gets a hit. And 3, but I get cover because he's shooting behind a monster creature. But I fail my cover save, so one more Hormagaunt is killed. So back to close combat. The Wraiths will do Wraith's attacks first, as always, but they will go same initiative step 2. So he does his attacks first, needing 4s to hit. And he gets 4 hits and needs 4s to wound with 6's rend. And in the end, he gets 3 wounds, but no rendings. I roll my armor saves and fail 2. So once again, one more dies, and the other one is left with 1 wound. So same time, so I get my 4 attacks back, 4s to hit, and I get 2 hits, and 4s to wound. And I get 2 wounds. So he rolls his invols and fails 1. So I actually ended up killing a Wraith, which made my day. I don't mind losing this combat as long as I kill 1 Wraith. And I jokingly said that the other one died because, oh, and see, he's dead because he fell down. Nah, he's alive still. And I'm still in Synapse, so he's fearless. So now the 2 warlords just continue to fight it out. So at this point, I decide that I'm not going to smash attack. Because that way, he can't just reroll one of them. I'm hoping that he fails multiple dice, and then that way he can't reroll all of them. So I get all 4 hits, and now strength 9. So 2s to wound, reroll 1s, and I get 4 wounds. They won't instant kill him, but he does have to roll 4 3+ invulnerable saves. And in the end, he fails 1 of them. And of course, he uses 1 reroll from his cheering section, and he passes it. But at least I got him to use that reroll, so it helps keep my Hive Tyrant alive and tied up his scariest squad in close combat. So he gets 3 attacks back, 4s to hit, so 2 hits, and once again, 6s to wound. But 6s will also go through my armor. And none of them, so nothing happens. So now it's Tyranids, turn 4. So this turn, I decide that I'm going to cast Catalyst, of course. So he casts the big red Turvagon, casts Feel No Pain on himself so that he can keep alive and hold that relic. And the red one, so the blue one casts on the red one, and the red one will cast Feel No Pain on the Hive Tyrant. Hive Tyrant casts Iron Arm on himself, goes off, and he gets a 2. So he is now Strength and Toughness 8. So that's a lot of good stuff. So then those 3 remaining Hormagaunts, they move up 5 inches. Eventually, they're going to do something I really hope this game. I'm just hoping they'll take down maybe 2 or 3 Lich Guard, or maybe a Warrior. And I decided it's best time than ever to spawn. And I roll for Gaunt's for spawning for the red one, and he rolls a 10, and he doesn't cork because he rolls a 4, a 5, and a 1. So he'll be okay to spawn in future turns. And then the other one spawns 12 Gaunts, and he also doesn't cork, so he'll be able to spawn more next turn as well. So right now my goal is just to spawn and swarm him in this late in the game, which I don't think has many models left that can deal with it this late in the game. We'll see. So I've decided that I'm going to run away with my Turvagon just to get a little distance so he can't assault him. And I move him 6 inches back away from his guys. That way I can just keep him alive because he's eating the objective. So might as well keep eating it for the rest of the game. Basically, I'm going to try to keep him away from the Wraith, who can do some serious damage to him. So then I decided that those Gaunts are then going to jump into combat just to have fun, tie him up perhaps a couple turns. It'll give him some more stuff to kill, but it'll also remove his cheering section, so that way if he fails his invul, he won't get to I won't get to reroll, and that's what I was trying to go for. Maybe I'll instant kill that warlord, the overlord, and get a slay the warlord point. So right now I'm moving up the gods, and they're going to get close and hopefully get in assault range. And I move up the Turvagon just to provide some extra support for later turns in the game. And then the Hive Guard move up. And I'm just going to see if I can get a lucky pot shot from those guys onto the flyer. Maybe if I can pop the Night Scythe, that'll really help this game. So once again, it's time to see 3d6 leadership checks to see if anybody more dies from the Doom. Of course, this again, the Doom's power against Necrons is very hard because they are leadership 10, which as you can see here, they just rolled at 10, so nothing happens. Plus, they do get back up again, so not as strong. And then the other one also passes, so no more wounds for the Doom this turn. So the Hive Guard then try to shoot at the rear end of the flyer. As I said, I need 6s to hit. And I don't roll any 1s for rerolls, and I don't roll any 6s to hit, unfortunately, so nothing there. So then my Termagants then decide to shoot all those warriors, because they killed their brethren. I did get some hits. I got 4 hits total. 5 hits total, sorry, and toughness 4, so 4s to wound. 3 wounds. Which is kind of vengeance for killing their brethren. He rolls his armor saves, and once again rolls 3 1s. He's really good with rolling those 3 1s. So 3 warriors will die, which will force a leadership check. Of course, they are leadership 10. And so 3 warriors fall down. So then my Turvagon, I've decided that I probably shouldn't shoot the Turvagon, because I may want to run him back further. And I thought, nah, I'll just kill maybe an extra warrior, which will help the Termagants in close combat. So I'll shoot them. And I get 4 hits. And needing 3s to wound. 3 wounds. So he rolls 3 more armor saves. And he fails 2 more. So 5 out of the 10 Necron warriors are already taken out. And they fall down. They're kind of taking a nap in the moment. And that's all my shooting. So it's time for, once again, see if they get back up again. So first one doesn't get back up. Second one doesn't get back up either. How about the third one? Third one gets back up. Fourth one also gets back up. And last one does not get back up. So that's pretty much statistical. So I declare my assault. They get to rapid fire Overwatch, but they need 6 to hit. So I'm hoping that some Termagants will get into close combat and tie them up. So he's rolling his Overwatch shots, and he actually hits with a few. He gets 2 hits, and he needs 3s to kill, and rolls 1, 4, and a 2. So 1 is dead. I then roll my distance. And I get 4 inches, which is, I think, enough. Yep, and they're able to get in to close combat and tie those guys up. So I'm going to try to conga line so that I can minimize my attacks. I'm not that afraid of them in close combat, and I'm hoping just to tie them up so they can't actually go for the relic, if, in fact, my Turvagon dies. And then the Wraith, of course, gets his attacks back on the Hive Guard. He gets a rending roll, so the Hive Guard will die. I get my attacks back, 1 hit and a wound, so he gets his 3+ invul and fails it. So I actually did another wound to him, and that 1 Wraith is left with 1 wound left. And he gets D6 consolidation. That one combat took actually several turns, as you can see. And he consolidates 6 inches. So now that combat, I get to go first. I need 4s to hit. So I get a few hits. And I get 3 wounds. He rolls armor saves, and 2 fall down. He then hits me back. So 4 left, they get their attacks in, and he doesn't get any attacks, and he just... So I won. Oh, sorry, actually 1 hit, it was because he had a higher weapon skill, but no wounds. So I won by 2, so he has to roll a leadership check, and he passes. So then he gets to see if they get back up again. And the first one does, and the second one doesn't. So now back to this crazy Overlord versus Overlord combat. And I get to go first. 3's to hit, reroll 1s, get 3 hits. And 2's to wound, reroll 1s. And I get 3 wounds. He rolls his invulnerable saves and passes all 3. He's been passing invulnerable saves like nobody's business today. He then hits me back. Gets only 1 hit. He uses his reroll and doesn't get another one. And now only needs 5s to wound. And rolls a wound. I get my 5 plus feel no pain. And I fail it. So my Hive Tyrant is down to 1 more wound. However, based on lack of time left and the current circumstances, my opponent concedes, and it was an awesome game, and it's a Tyranids victory.